Hello, beautiful people. I bet you've been into a situation when you feel low. It can be all of the sudden during the day, you're like out of nowhere, you're out of energy, you're sad, you're stressed, you're aggressive, you don't know what is going on. You just feel like very low. You feel like shit. Or on the contrary, like every single day is so monotonous that one day you find yourself so low and you're like, oh my god, what is going on? What is happening? So here I am talking today about what to do when you feel low. I'm a very visual person, so I like to create different stories in my head, different analogies, why you feel so and how you can interpret it or see it in everyday life, whatever. So imagine you're walking your path of life and then you find yourself in a hole. The first thing can be you fell there all of a sudden. So you go, bum, you're at the bottom of the hole. It can be all of a sudden. In real life, it can be a lot of things. It can be something that is triggering you. It can be something that you didn't heal from. So the first situation, you fell into that hole all of a sudden. The second situation is when you walk, but you're not moving anywhere. And because of that, because you're digging at the same place, because you're walking at the same place, you dig yourself a hole and you realize that you're in a hole at a time when the sun doesn't shine there anymore. When you're like, oh my god, it's so dark, like how did I end up here? You're not moving anywhere, but you're still doing something, you're still walking. Usually in real life, it can be something that, for example, what you're doing every day doesn't serve you. What you're doing every day is keeping you stuck or even taking you a few steps back. And you're like, I feel like I'm doing something, but you're not. It can also be when you set a goal, when you're walking toward their goal and all of a sudden you find yourself being stuck. You're doing the same thing every single day and you're like, oh my god, I'm not getting anywhere. And the third situation, sometimes it's not even a hole, it's just an episode in your life when you kind of not at your best, but still nothing is very bad. Like you know that something is going on, you know that you're not feeling great, but you're also like kind of, I'm not in the hole because I'm still moving forward, but I'm still going down. And sometimes you're going down, but you don't really notice because of the incline is so small, like the level of the incline is so small. And sooner or later, it will change and you'll go up again. So sometimes in real life, those will be the situations that are unpredictable. It's just life, something that you cannot expect, but you know that sooner or later, everything will be fine. I feel like when you're mature enough, when you're aware enough, when you're healed enough, all the holes that were happening to you all of the sudden, all the triggers that triggered you in the past, all of the holes that you dig for yourself, when you're self-aware, when you're healing, when you keep maturing, when you keep gaining experience, and when you learn how to process those emotions, sooner or later they will become those hills. So you're kind of aware that you're going down, but you know that you will be fine, that you will go up again soon. You know that you will make it work because you're responsible for that. You know that no matter what, you'll get through this. It's just an episode in your life. So your job right now is to know how to get out of the holes when you feel low. So how to get out of there? The first thing that I will tell you is sit and just breathe. I would say go back to basics. Go back to normal. Erase all of the pressure. Erase everything that you have in your life and just sit and breathe. So usually a pretty mature person I expect you to be a pretty mature, pretty aware person because you're watching this video somehow. So if you're like that, you probably know about journaling, about hot girl walks, about going to the gym, about being productive and doing 5 jobs, earning millions of dollars, having your healthy relationship and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. You know that you have to do a lot to achieve a lot. You know that if you want to be very unique, if you want to get something that other people don't have, you need to do something that other people don't do. Now, when I tell you go back to basic, forget about that. Like literally forget about the productive tips for a day or few. Forget about waking up at 5 a.m. Forget about meditating and reading books and journaling. Yeah, I'm actually being serious. Forget about all the stuff that you saw that other people sold you. I don't say they're bad. I do them myself. I say they're very good, but when you're at your lowest, forget about them. Erase everything from your head, erase the pressure, even for 5 minutes. Sit and breathe. And when I say go back to basics, I mean eat, sleep, move. And I would also add cuddle. Eat, sleep, move, cuddle. Mwah. That's a perfect combo. If you don't know where to start your self-improvement journey, eat, sleep, move, cuddle. If you don't know where to start to get your shit together, eat, sleep, move, cuddle. That's the answer, because those are the basic needs that are keeping you alive. So when you want your life to get better, whether you're at your lowest or you literally don't know where to start from here. First thing first, go get a good sleep. And I'm not telling you sleep in. I'm telling go get a good sleep. That means that you're going to bed before midnight and you're asleep until 8 a.m. So you have 8 hours of sleep or even more. You're waking up early so you kind of feel productive, but you still are not feeling drained because you got your norm of sleep. Sleeping in, it doesn't compensate all of the sleep that you didn't get throughout the week. So it doesn't make any sense to sleep in because you will also feel tired. Like once in a while, okay, that's not bad. But if we're talking about getting back to basics and having a good sleep, that means you're going to sleep before midnight and you're waking up 7, 8, 9 a.m. When we're talking about eat, try to not overeat. Try to have at least 4 hours of break for your body between your meals. Make sure that you have your comfort food. Make sure that you have something that make you feel good. Not taste good, but feel good. Go back to those basic and eat something after what you feel light and not something that you will overeat and for the whole day you'll be lost, you'll be gone. For the move, obviously, and I'm not talking about go to the gym at 5 a.m., run on the treadmill for 30 minutes and get the best workout you ever had. When I talk about move, maybe you will wake up and have a 20-minute stretch or 10-minute stretch. I don't care. Move your body. It can be a stretching routine that you really enjoy, something that your body will be grateful for. It can be a Pilates workout. It can be lift. No, it can be something very basic, something that you enjoy. No matter what, you go to basic, you dance for 30 minutes, you stretch for 30 minutes, you do Pilates for 20 minutes, you go to the gym. I don't care. Get your move in. And the last one is cuddle. So we're human beings. Being introvert or extrovert doesn't have anything to do with your need to be affectionate with other people. And you need this connection, whether it's emotional or physical. So when I say cuddle, I'm not talking about going and hooking up with anyone. I'm talking about someone who can give you an emotional connection, someone who can give you an emotional support if you need it, someone who make you feel comfort so you don't have to over explain yourself, someone that you just want to have a lunch with and you're comfortable sitting in silence. It may seem that you don't want to have anyone around you or you don't need anyone around you when you feel you're low. I mean, yeah, you need to take days off, you need to recharge, but also you will feel better if you will spend time with the right person, even for 5 minutes, even if that's a meme exchange or TikTok videos exchange for 5 minutes, even if it's just one hug, even if it's just a question, how are you doing? But like a sincere question, how are you really? You know, one time I was having a dinner and I remember sitting between a boy and a girl, and like a girl was constantly talking in a foreign language and I really did not feel comfortable sitting over there. And then there was a boy and we were friends, but we're not like very close friends. And I turned to him, and because like this was getting weird because the girl was not paying attention to half of the group at the table. So I turned to him and I was like, so how are you? And he was like, oh, I'm good. And I was like, no, how are you really? And I was like, oh, he probably will say, oh, I'm great, or like joke about it. And he turned to me and he was like, you know, I'm trying to figure everything out. There is a lot of things going on. It's good, but it's also stressing me out because there are a lot of things on me. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but you know, like you'll get through this. And he was like, oh, you know, thank you. And it was just like a small question, and you don't even know how much it can help another person because you just asked that, because they had a feeling that someone actually cares and they actually can share that something is not very good in their life. Because that's our life. It's unexpectable. Wherever you understand under cuddle, and I'm not telling about a physical connection without emotional connection. If it's just random hookup, this will not work. This will make you actually feel even worse. But when it's something like a physical connection, but you know, like that person cares about you, that a hug, a kiss, a talk, just one question. As biological human beings, we need this affection. We need this feeling of belongingness. Okay, so now you said you rest, you got your eat, sleep, move, and cuddle. We're going to the second step. Get even lower than you were before. This may sound weird, but dig deeper. Get lower, because the lower you will dig, the more treasures you will find. So you'll need to reflect. Why are you in that situation? Why are you in this hole? Is it because of the something that triggered you so you're here all of a sudden? Or that's because you're actually being stuck and you found yourself in a hole all of a sudden, not because you fell there, but because you dig that hole for yourself. Sit there and think, get dirty, and find your why. Why are you here? Is it the first time I'm in this hole? Or this hole seems familiar? And so now you have this dirt on your hands because you're even lower than you were before. You build stairs. Because after you got to basics, you're basically on a neutral line when everything is not bad, but it's also not great. And you need to add to that for this line to go up. So it can be the things you enjoy doing, the things you enjoy doing as a kid, something you haven't done for a very while, but you're like, oh my God, like this gives me butterflies because it reminds me of my childhood, or it reminds me of like some people. New habits, hard work, self-discipline. It won't be easy, but you will be able to make it if you stick to good things. And I know it's hard, especially when you're adulting and when there is more and more things on your back and not in your hands, but you will have to find time for that because no one will do those things for you, so you have to care about that. So you basically sit and think about, what I like doing, what can better my life right now? What habit will actually improve my life? You will have to rethink your plan if you had a dream and you got stuck because you don't see any results. Why you don't see any results? Probably because you're doing the same thing every single day. And between those enjoyable things and new habits and hard work and self-discipline, you have to put good rest because your body will not function if you won't have a good rest. Without the rest, your brain will be so overwhelmed that it won't solve any problems and generate any ideas. And I don't care how you rest. Do you rest because you read books? Do you rest while you're on a walk? Do you rest when you have a good sleep? Find what gives you rest, because when I'm talking about relaxing for a little bit, I'm not telling you go and meditate. I'm not telling you go to sleep. I'm not telling you go lay on your bed and stare in the ceiling and relax. Chill. Very weird, but right now I have a very good sense of like knowing when to stop watching something, and I don't binge watch. So for me, having 1 or 2 episodes of like a TV show that I'm watching, and I'm very picky with what I'm watching because I don't really have time to watch anything. So when I watch something, oh my God, that's like a whole celebration. I make sure that I'm ready to go to sleep afterwards. I make sure that I have the great atmosphere and nothing will disturb me. I make sure that my phone on sleep mode so no one can reach out to me, because now I'm getting my good rest. And the last step, because it's not over, you did all of the stuff to get back on track. That's over? No, honey, it's not. This is something that no one talks about. But when you want to achieve something, you need to realize that most of the time you'll have to stick with your routine, with your habits for the whole life to keep that moving. For example, if someone's goal is to have a nice body, you have to understand that when you get a nice body, it's not over. You have to maintain it throughout your life. So when you're out of the hole, it's not over. I'm sorry to disappoint you. You probably thought, oh my God, my hard work, my self-discipline, I can leave it behind in that hole. New habits, those things that I don't have time for, I can leave that in that hole. No, you can't, because if you will, they will literally take you with those things. Like, you will fall in that hole again. So now that you're out of the hole, relax, appreciate things, accept the fact that you were in that hole, look at your mistakes. Make sure that you will at least try to not make them again. Now that you saw the things that work for you, and now you have to stick with that. Because I'm sorry to disappoint you, but life never gets easier. It gets only harder and harder, because the more you live, the more pressure you get on yourself, the more dreams you have, the more people you meet. Like, you will constantly have more of everything. So you will have to try to make it work, because life doesn't get easier. You get stronger. It's the same thing in the gym. I started from 5 pounds. It was so hard for me. I still remember I was like taking 5 pounds and I was like, oh my God, why is it so hard? And I'm like taking 5 pounds and it's so easy that I don't even need that. Like, I'll go and take 10 and then 15, and probably in a month I'll be able to take 20. And it's not because the weight is getting easier. The weight stayed the same. I just get stronger. That's why I can take more on myself. So when you get out of the hole, you're out of there a little stronger. So you can take a little more on yourself. So the fourth step will be for you to just maintain that neutral line, or even try to go up. You cannot do the same mistake that you did before the hole. Because if you'll start doing that again, you'll fall into that again and again. And I get that. For example, for a triggering situation, you cannot heal it overnight, and you cannot heal it and not get triggered anymore. After the first time you will get triggered and you will be aware that this is triggering for you, you will fall into that hole again and again and again until you let the thing go eventually. Because trust me, letting things go doesn't take you one time saying, okay, I'm letting go of him. No, it takes you every single day choosing to let someone go. So next time you'll be falling into those holes, they will be less deep. They will be not that scary for you anymore, because you were there. You're like, okay, I can do that. I did it last time and it was harder, so I can do this one as well. Something that I noticed about my life, I remember like this summer was weird. I really was at my lowest for 2 months this summer, and I couldn't get out of there for like from the end of June till the start of October. It was a constant battle to get out of those holes, and I didn't know what is going on. But something that I reminded myself that was making me even a little bit proud of myself, that my lows this summer were my highs like last year. You should give credits to you for that, for having your lows right now, and those lows were your highs last year. That's the progress that you're making. That's the amount of development, that amount of improvement you put into yourself that you're not even aware of. Try to make your habits your lifestyle. Try to make your routine just something that you cannot live without. Because you cannot stop doing things that keep you afloat, because without them, you will drown. And you have to be very aware that you have to prioritize things that are doable, things that you will be capable to do every single day, not just a week. That you will be able to do every single day with an ability to miss it 1 or 2 days, and this will not affect you, because life is unpredictable. So you have to think about that in advance. For example, the goal to wake up at 5 a.m. is not a doable goal, because you won't be able to attain this for your whole life if you know that at night you like to party. At night you like to evening talks with people. At night you like to binge watch series. It's very stupid to think that if you're going to sleep at 2 a.m. and waking up at 5 a.m. is a good idea. No, it's not, honey. It's not. I'm sorry to tell you that. But waking up at 5 a.m. when you do not get good sleep is not a good idea, because you won't be productive when your body and your brain does not function as they should function. So instead of 5 a.m. every single day for a week, go for 8 a.m. every single day. or go for going back to sleep a little earlier. That's something that you can achieve, something that you can do, and something that if you will not wake up at 8 a.m. and you will wake up at 9 or 10, you'll be like, oh, that's fine. I don't miss out on life. Like that's totally fine. Or if once in a while you go party and you're like, oh, that's also fine. I don't have to wake up at 5 in the morning. And that's the secret to bettering your life. And that's the secret to improving your life constantly. Little things are not actually little, but they are achievable. You should start small. That's the best advice that I can give you. Start small. Whatever you are starting, start small. Because if you will start very big, too big, it will bite you in the ass. I don't say don't dream big. Dream big. But start small when you are planning to achieve that dream. So let's revise. You're at your lowest. So you sit, you relax, and you go back to basics. Eat, sleep, move, and cuddle. Now you're kind of stabilized as a human being that gets everything that a human being needs biologically to survive. You start digging deeper and finding treasures and actually asking yourself, why am I in this hole? Why am I feel this low? Is it because all of a sudden something triggering happened? Or is it something that actually I could see that coming because I was being stuck? I was not moving anywhere, but I was still doing something productive. Why you got there? Why do you feel this way? Now that you know, now that you're on a neutral line, make it better. Add some things that you enjoy doing. Add some new habits. Add some new stuff to your routine. Add something that in the past you knew that it worked, but you just stopped doing that. Get inspired. Work hard. Be self-disciplined. And add a very good rest to that. And when you're out of your lowest, when you feel way better and you feel like you can run the world, you need to continue staying afloat. So you have to think that some things should be a part of your lifestyle right now. Something that you can be doing every week. You can do this every day, but you won't get mad or you won't get low if you won't do this one day. And now I feel like there are so many contexts to this situation. There are so many different types of feeling low. And there are some types of feeling lost that people confuse with being low. Now that we talked about when you feel low and what to do and how to pull your shit together, and just now that you know how to get back on track, I hope that you feel better. I hope that you feel prepared that whatever life throws at you, you'll be able to handle that. Whatever hole you'll fall into, you will get out of that if you would put effort and put work to this. Because let me say this again, no one will come and save you. You have to. Sometimes, sure, some people will give you a hand and you're like, thank you. Thank you so much that I didn't have to do the work. But sometimes when you will feel alone, now you will know what to do. Now you will know that if no one will come and save you, you still will be able to get out of there. So that's all for now. Don't forget to be awesome. Bye.